This episode of Film Riot is brought to you by Domain.com. Hello, internets. It's Monday, and I got places to see and people to do, so let's jump right into this.
Wait, what?
What? First question, will you put together a Film Riot complete cinematography course from script to screen and offer it in disc and digital format at a fair and reasonable price? Disc format? No. Download format? Yes. And this is definitely something that we've been thinking about for a while that I absolutely want to get to and maybe work with partners to help do this, really good cinematographers. It's definitely stuff that we want to get into in the future. We've talked about Film Riot University. There's a lot of stuff that we want to do and make available to you guys that I think will be very, very beneficial. So hopefully that'll start happening next year. We've been working towards it, but who knows? We're still a very small company, so it's always juggling many things at once, but I'm hoping we get to that very, very soon. How long does it take to produce an episode of Film Riot from start to finish? It's not how long does an episode take, it's how long do we have to make an episode, which may sound confusing, but let me explain. We have to have a new episode out every week, and in fact, we're doing 2 episodes of Film Riot every week, plus we do the quick tips, our other side projects, variant things like that. So it boils down to how much time do we have to meet our deadline, which usually I think on average we only have 2, maybe 3 days to get out an episode of our Thursdays episodes. Mondays are always done in one day. And we've done our full Thursday episodes in a day before. Every now and again, it's really rare. We have 5 days or more to work on an episode, but that's extremely rare. And it's usually never 5 days straight. It's intermixed with everything else, but that's a part of our process for 5 days. So probably our max is 6 days. The average is 2, 3, but it's been as short as 1 day. How often will Film Riot be producing short shorts and short films from now on? I don't have an answer to that, although we want to start doing it a lot more. I already have one planned that I want to do at the beginning of next year, but it's all just planning and seeing how things go. We're such a small company and trying to work towards a very specific goal that you always have to stay sort of loose, at least how we do things. I always have a plan in what I'm currently next working towards, but I can never keep myself locked to one thing. I always have to be able to move to one thing or the other to follow where the company wants to go, where that next open door is. So I always think about it as there's 5 doors in front of me. I'm headed towards all of them because I'm not 100% sure which one's gonna open first, and I kind of just proceed in that direction. I feel like if I were to lock myself into this is the only next thing that I can do, that wouldn't be very beneficial because we are so small that it would be locking myself into one idea instead of letting myself be free to explore what might be a better idea. Kind of the same thing in filmmaking. You go in with a set plan, but you stay loose and open to move to what might be better for the story in that moment. Will you do any sketches again, like the old days of Film Riot? I wouldn't really call it the old days of Film Riot. I mean, we did sketches this year. It was just before Epic Summer. We haven't done any because of Epic Summer and some other stuff that we've been working on, like the Portal short film that we put out. But yeah, absolutely, we're gonna get back to that. That'll always be a component of Film Riot. We use the technique or whatever we're talking about and have fun, and then we show it. The only thing we've ever talked about is maybe breaking the sketches outside of a Film Riot episode, so the sketches would go up by themselves, and then the Film Riot episode would just be pure teaching and referencing that sketch that we put up. But I feel like that would have some confusion with the short shorts and the short films, so I've always just wanted to keep them inside of Film Riot. I don't know. We've gone back and forth with it. Kind of curious of what you guys think. Post below and tell me your thoughts on that idea. Last question, ever run into a creative rut? Any advice on keeping your head fresh? Thanks, love your show. For me, the creative rut that I can think of that I hit would be in writing or crafting an idea or breaking a story. So if I'm writing something and I feel like I sort of hit a wall with that script, what I'll usually do is take a break from that and move on to something else, write something else. And for me, I'm usually writing 3 things at once. I don't know why, my brain just works that way. If I'm doing just one thing, it's harder for me to concentrate and see it through. So I do multiple things at once, and that seems to work better for me. Some people like to write through anyway, even though what they've hit, they feel like everything after this that they've written is going to be terrible, but they write through it anyway, and that works for them. For me, that doesn't work so well. I get discouraged and then I just quit. So what I found works really well for me is if I hit a wall with something that I'm working on, writing or breaking the story usually, I'll just start working on something else. And after a while of working on a few other things, you get ideas that you're like, hey, you know, this would actually work here. It's happened to where I've done that with, I had 5 different pieces that I was working on, hit a wall, and then I put them aside, and then I came up with an idea that I was able to take all those and fit it into, and then all these different ideas, because you're looking at it from different angles, end up coming together and making something really interesting. And that process seems to work pretty well for me. But it's really about you finding your own process, finding what works for you. That's why I like to show all these different ideas from different creatives on the show. And I'm always talking about process, because if you look at all these different processes, you can sort of try each one out and then craft your own and see what works best for you. Domain.com is where I've gone to register my domains for a long time now. I've said it a million times, and now they have .club, which I've also said a million times at this point. .club is universal and understood globally. It's perfect if you're building a business or you have a film startup, because when you think about it, the business, the film startup, any idea that you're putting out there, it's a club, it's all collaborative, it's all a community on the internet, which makes a .club perfect. It just makes sense. So go to domain.com to register your .club domain name. They're only $9.99 a year, and thousands of options are still available. And of course, be sure to use a coupon code FilmRiot to save 25%. It's going to save you money. Let them know you heard it from us. When you think domain names, think domain.com.
I'm going to start a competing
website. No, you're not.
.gang.
No, you're not.
We're in a gang. It's kind of like a club, but like
you're not
more G.
You're not doing that. So that's it for today. Before I get to my suggestion of the week, I want to let you guys know that we have a big sale happening all day today until midnight. It's our big summer blowout kind of thing. Free shipping on apparel over $35, 50% off all our digital downloads, 25% off our new apparel. Follow Triune Store's social media or subscribe to our email list for additional discount codes. You can find all of that in the notes below, so make sure you jump on that. Lots of goodies to be obtained. But now for my suggestion of the week. And this one is called Exploration, which was done for a NASA competition sent to us on Twitter. So this was actually done by a film writer. Someone from the Film Riot community put this together, and I thought they did a fantastic job. The visuals were great, the tone was great, the pacing was great. There's also a VFX breakdown that goes along with this. Both the link for the short and the VFX breakdown can be found in the notes below, so definitely check that out. And until next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.